Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world. Talk about a team like the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right, so today is the day. You're going to get this on Friday, but today, where I'm recording it, is the first day of training camp where the rookies report. Everyone reports as far as rookies and veterans on the 23rd. It starts. Right now, it's starting. As we're talking right now, it's already started. Players are in the building, coaches, we're putting it all together for this season, and I'm super pumped up. I'm super excited. I'm tempering expectations because, we just never know until we see them on the field. But honestly, massive upgrades in a lot of different positions. What I want to do today is I want to take a look at the storylines for each rookie heading into their first training camp here in the NFL with the Las Vegas Raiders. Also talk a little bit about some contract stuff, some roster stuff, who's going to make it, who may not. Also some depth chart things and stuff like that. We're going to get to all of that. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. That's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do. And it's the bare minimum you do support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video. Okay, so first things first. We're going to get to every single draft pick, every single rookie, also where they fit on the roster, where they fit in the depth chart, what their storyline is. But the first thing is we got to talk about some contract things really quick. There are some issues right now with some second rounders. Now, more second rounders did get signed today, and we kind of all knew that it was going to happen. A couple of the guys at the very top, tippy top of the second round got fully guaranteed contracts. It was Carson Swessinger and Jaden Higgins both got fully guaranteed deals. Now, they were the very first and second picks of the second round, and a lot of people had first-round grades on these guys. They just happened to slip a little bit, and I don't think that's going to be something that's going to be a precedent set moving forward, but it did screw up a little bit of the plans for the other second-round draft picks. There's no agent out there saying, listen, man, if you don't sign, I'm going to guarantee you your contract. I'll pay it out of my pocket. We're not going to stand for this. No agent is going to say that. An agent is going to get a deal signed for these players. So don't worry about that. He's going to be signed sooner or later, within the next couple days or so. Okay, so now that's out of the way. Let's talk about the draft picks. First, we're going to talk about the first round draft pick, number 6 overall, Ashton Jeanty. So Ashton Jeanty, his big storyline heading into this season is, can he live up to the promise? Because the Raiders drafted him to live up to who he was in college. Now, good thing about this is running back is a position that translates very strongly from college to the pros. So he could very well be that dude in the pros as well. And we're going to need it. We didn't really bring anybody else in other than Raheem Mostert, who is not a lead back. Okay, he's over 30, coming off an injury season. He can be productive in a smaller role, but he's not a lead back. Everyone else on this roster at running back was on the roster last season when we had the worst running back group in the NFL, the worst yards per overall, rushing yards by running backs, yards per carry, and yards per game by running backs. So we need Ashton Jeanty to be that guy. That's his storyline for this training camp season is, can he be that dude? Because we drafted him to be that dude. I don't think that it's a question that he has the capability of doing it. Can he be put in the proper position by Chip Kelly, by the offensive line, and just the offense in general to be able to maximize what Ashton Jeanty can do for this offense? All righty, coming up next here is, again, we talked about Jack Besh. The storyline for Jack Besh is this, I guess technically today he would be a holdout because training camp has started and he's not in, but is this going to affect his snaps? Now, we heard through the rookie mini camp or OTAs and mini camp and everything like that Dante Thornton was starting to be running with a lot of the ones, right? And he's starting to be kind of pushed up a little bit in the eyes of some people and even some of the players. That doesn't mean Jack Besh is not a good player. I think Jack Besh is an excellent wide receiver, okay? I think he's a guy that's going to be play a big role, and he can play inside, outside. He's really tough. He's really great on yards after catch. He's a really good blocker as well. But one of the things, the first athlete that I ever interviewed for a podcast or anything was AJ Hawk. And one of the things that he said that sticks to me today is players practice hurt and play hurt because they don't want the coaching staff to get used to someone else doing their job. They don't want the coaching staff to get used to someone else being out there instead of them. Well, if Jack Besh is not in during training camp, they're getting pretty used to other players being in these roles and those players not being Jack Besh. That's another one of the reasons why. Look, just because he's a second-round pick doesn't mean he's a lock to start, okay? He has a good chance to, but ultimately he could be one of like the first guy off the bench or something like that. But, I mean, if I'm Jack Besh, I'm signing whatever contract they put in front of me right now. It's going to be in line with the other contracts as far as the first 2 years guaranteed and then, you know, a majority of it or a bulk of it guaranteed the third year. Because ultimately you need to get on the field and you need to start ingratiating yourself with your teammates and getting the coaching staff used to what you do well so they can start game planning for you. So I think that's to Jack Besh's storyline is how long is he going to wait and is he going to lose his presumed starting job to another wide receiver? All right, up next, we have Darien Porter in the third round. Darien Porter's big story or storyline going into his rookie season in training camp is, can he make up that ground that he didn't have in college? Now, as far as special teams goes, I mean, if you watched my my video on special teams, Darien Porter has almost 999 college snaps on special teams. All right. Dude knows what he's doing on special teams, but can he make up that inexperience at corner? He flashed a little bit, but he really only has started 7 games in his college career at corner. That goes to show you the type of athlete and freak he is, that he's going to be running with the ones during a mini camp and OTAs, but he still hasn't done it with the pads on. He still hasn't done it against live rounds. Can Darien Porter show that he can be coached up and he can make up that ground in his first training camp? All right, up next, Caleb Rogers, the guard. His big storyline is, can he knock one of those uncertain guard positions out, and can he get a starting role on the interior of this offensive line? Make no mistake, guys. There's 2 solid starters on the offensive line for the Raiders, and that's Colt Miller at left tackle and Jackson Powers Johnson at center. All the other spots are up for grabs, okay? Whether it's Capo or Meredith or Rogers or Parham on the inside, you have, there's Munford and there's DJ Glaze, and then the guy we're going to talk about next, Charles Grant. But look, DJ Glaze really surprised last season, okay? DJ Glaze may be playing guard this season if either Mumford or Grant play better than him during the training camp and preseason. So this is a very similar storyline to Charles Grant. I'm going to put Charles Grant up right now. But can Caleb Rogers, with his experience playing on either side or also playing guard or tackle, can he kind of nose in and beat out one of these other guys for the interior offensive line? And for Charles Grant, very similar is, can he make that leap from FCS to the NFL? We've seen him. I said it. If you saw my video on Charles Grant, if you haven't seen much video on Charles Grant, check it out. But the Charles Grant, the video that I saw, if you're going to be an FCS player going into the NFL, you better dominate. And he did exactly that. Can he translate that strength, toughness, that just mean streak, that footwork and movement ability? Can that translate into the NFL with the pads on against live rounds? If he can do that, he can definitely nail down the right tackle spot. And on top of that, if he does nail down that right tackle spot, that may play a little bit of a role in what happens with Colt Miller. Because if he really impresses at right tackle, now, hey, this guy could be our left tackle of the future. Maybe we don't give Colt Miller a huge contract. Maybe we just move Charles Grant over there for the next season or so. So that's Charles Grant's big storyline is, can he make that jump from FCS offensive lineman to NFL offensive lineman? How smoothly can he do it? And can he unseat DJ Glaze for that right tackle spot? All right, moving right along. Coming up next, Dante Thornton Jr. Is the hype for real? Is the hype for real? Because ultimately, he hasn't done anything in the NFL yet. He's running around with a jersey and shorts on. Yeah, he looks great, but he hasn't done anything yet with pads on. His big storyline, very similar to Ashton Jeanty as far as Chip Kelly goes. Can Chip Kelly get Dante Thornton involved, doing what Dante Thornton does well, get him that confidence, but also stretch him a little bit? give him a little bit more of a diverse route tree, have him run different routes, have him get that confidence, and have him go out there and be able to use his physical tools and physical abilities and his traits to be able to be an asset for this offense. Can Chip Kelly find a way to have Dante Thornton be a productive member of this team right away? Because if Dante Thornton is productive right away, he's going to be able to build and add on top of that as the season goes along, and going to be a huge threat before the season's over. Okay, next up, Tonka Hemingway. With the kind of nonsense going on with Christian Wilkins, and is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he in the boot? Is he out of the boot? Resurgery? What are they going to do? Tonka Hemingway is pretty much a carbon copy of Christian Wilkins as far as their play style goes. They're really big, tough, long arm guys who love to tackle and love to knife into that backfield and really cause havoc behind the line of scrimmage. He's not a stack and shed guy like I've talked about before. A stack and shed guy is a guy that puts his hands in between the shoulder pads of the guard and just lifts him off the ground and throws him to the side and takes care of two gaps. That's a stack and shed guy. Tonka Hemingway isn't that. He's more of a slasher. He's more of a guy that kind of like knifes into the backfield. That's what he can do. He's really tough. He's really good at it. But his storyline right now is, can he make an impact with Christian Wilkins not in the picture? Because if he can carve himself a nice little role on this defensive line in the interior. Okay, speaking of defensive linemen, JJ Piggies, the do-it-all / running back / fullback / defensive tackle / sometimes defensive end. This dude, his big storyline is, how well can he do multiple things? I have no doubt he can be a very similar player to a Tonka Hemingway as far as dashing and slashing into the backfield as a defensive lineman. But don't forget, out of his 21 carries last season at Ole Miss, 17 or 18 of them were either touchdowns or first downs. So he's not a guy. I mean, this is why they stopped handing the ball off to Refrigerator Perry a lot of years ago with the Bears, because he started fumbling the ball. Like, he got hit. He's not used to carrying a football. JJ Piggies, no problem with that. He's used to carrying the ball. He's a former tight end. He was a former quarterback in high school. He knows what to do with the ball in his hands. He's not going to just be a fumbling machine. Can JJ Piggies even oust a longtime Raider in Zeus White? Zeus White is currently the short yardage back. He's the biggest, most powerful back. If JJ Piggies can show that he can get the job done, he may be a 2-for-1 type of guy. Maybe they don't keep Zeus White because of it. So that's a big storyline for JJ Piggies. All right, do not adjust your sets. This is Tommy Mulot. He is not the ball boy. He is not an intern. He is a Walter Payton Award-winning quarterback from the FCS level, given to the top offensive player in the FCS that season. He's going to play wide receiver for us, but his storyline is, can he make the field offensively? I have no doubts that he can get on the field on special teams. If you guys watch his tape on his tape breakdown, this dude can make stuff happen big time with the ball in his hands. He has over 3,500 yards rushing in college. He's predominantly a running quarterback that can throw. He's being turned into a wide receiver. So expect some trick plays, some throws, some double tosses, stuff like that with Tommy Mulot in the game, but also expect fireworks on special teams when he gets the ball in his hands. His storyline is, can he stretch outside of just being a special teamer, because his first year being a wide receiver? Can he get on the field and be available for some trick plays for this offense? All right, up next is Cam Miller is going to be a quarterback. Okay, he's not going to be a slash guy like Tommy Mulot. He's going to be a quarterback, and his thing is basically, can you show up on time to the right, to the right venue? Can you show up to the stadium on time? I really don't think he's going to be pushed to take the backup role right now. I think he's going to be brought along a little slower. They have a year or 2, 3 maybe with Geno Smith. Also, Aiden O'Connell is under contract for this next season as well, going into his 3rd year. So I think it's going to be O'Connell being the backup, but I wouldn't find it too hard to believe that Cam Miller can push Aiden O'Connell for that second role as the backup. But for right now, that's the expectation. That's the storyline is, can Cam Miller push Aiden O'Connell for the backup role? He definitely fits the mold of what Chip Kelly wants in a quarterback a lot better physically than Aiden O'Connell does. All right, that brings us to the final pick. Cody Lindenberg. Can Lindenberg carve himself out a spot on this team? It's going to be extremely difficult for Cody Lindenberg to do so, not only because he's a 7th rounder, but the position that he plays. The fact that we have veteran free agents that are going to push for a lot of playing time in Jalen Smith, in Devin White, in E-Rob, and in Jermaine Pratt. Look, Jermaine Pratt's going to be a starter. All right. He was signed to be a starter. He was paid to be a starter. He's going to be one of the starting linebackers. The other linebacker, you're going to have guys that are fighting for that role. Those guys are going to be Landon Roberts, who's probably going to get it. Devin White, who's going to play a ton. Jalen Smith, who's coming back from injury and looks really good from all reports. And then you have a couple other guys who are really good special teams guys in Tommy Eichenberg and in Amari Gaynor. So who knows how Cody Lindenberg is going to be on special teams. But you have two guys in Eichenberg and Gaynor who are already really good at special teams. So who knows, man? It's going to be really tough for him. But can he carve himself a spot on this roster? That's the big storyline for Cody Lindenberg. I'm super excited, man. Training camp started. I'm super pumped up. These are just some storylines that you want to follow going into training camp before the veterans get in. But I just wanted you guys to know that I'm trying my best here to give you guys some really good content, just a little bit something to kind of nibble on as far as the rookies going into training camp, because, guys, this is it. This is not off-season anymore. This is the start of the preseason, is training camp, and we are getting ready to rock it. I'm super excited for a year coming up of Raider football. All right, guys, that's my time for today. Really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's absolutely free to do, and it's the bare minimum you can do to support the channel besides doing absolutely nothing and just watching the video. Guys, we're over 2,700. Keep killing it. I know we're going to explode once the season starts. You guys are killing it, man. I can't ask anything more for you guys. Actually, I can't. Hit the notification buttons, guys. Whenever I drop a video, you guys will be able to be notified and see it right away. Also, share to your socials, guys. Share this video to your socials. Please get the word out. I'm doing my job by putting the content out for you guys. You guys need to do yours by watching, commenting, subscribing, notifying, and sharing to all your socials. Much appreciated, guys. All right, guys. Everyone, please tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell everybody. Raiders versus the world's greatest and going Raider Nation today. All right, guys. That's my time. Till next time, everybody. Peace. Hey, Raider Nation. Thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment. Make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.